Okay. Okay. Hey, Mr. Foddy and hi RNG Cryptic. Oh, chat is not working again. Chat, why must you break? There we go. Hi Nano and Jira and Lamb. Doing pretty good. One sec. Oh, it's been so hot lately. Oh my gosh. Okay. A Reaper or a Gina at 10? Definitely a Gina. Micah, that's luck born of terrible decisions, I think. Hey, NDG. All right. Anything good in my box? Nope. Micah, doesn't it mean that you pulled something out of... You have to have pulled something out of event, keys, or miracle eyes, and that is a terrible decision. All around. Jira, you should save. Now, if we were in the middle of a keys event or a miracle event, I could see people already having the hero, but... Hi, Mikero. Okay. Miracle Eyes. On this account, I have... What do I got? This is my alt. I got 400 plus another 120, so 520 on this account. Ward Explorer, that is mistranslation. Rithandi is a terrible... Rithandi is definitely not a boy. Lore 9 or Aegina 9? I would take Aegina. My other account has like 450 or something like that. Alright, shall we hop into it? Ah, crud. Hey, Shubin. Ward, that's probably just a bad translation. What, NDG? What did you do? Crud. Mikero has given very wide pictures. Oh boy. These pictures don't fit at all. Ryan, nope, you need a computer. Hi, Martin. Leonidas, Dragon Ring is more reliable crit rate. Soul Torrent is higher damage peak. It's honestly up to you which one you like more. Okay, so this is gonna be in the way for a little bit because his pictures are very wide. Oh shoot, this one's even wider. Oh boy. Oh, this one's gonna be fun. No, it's fine, Mikero. We can work with this. It's just gonna look very silly right now. Alright, so how do you arrange your hero setup? Jeez, you have a Themis already? Star Shards, Themis using Gift, HLJ, or Star Shards. Who to focus on next? Do you pull for Azathoth or wait for Skuld? And do you pull for Phoenix? Bang rules are right up here. High Trollcraft and Goose. Alright. So, let's start with this one by one. Hero setup. I might move Freya more towards the back just to keep her alive a little bit longer. So maybe put Skuld first, then Valkyrie, then Freya. Who should have Star Shards? You should have it on... Okay, so the thing about Themis is, and this is something that, honestly, until more people know, I don't have the answer to. And who is messaging... Bang, you are DMing me. You have to post it in the channel. Oh, man. Okay. So here's the thing about Themis, is there's a couple of ways to use her, and nobody knows exactly which one is better, is... Oh, and hi, Bella. One, you use energy on her, you hope that she fires once, and then dies, and then fires again. Or two, you do not put energy on her, hope that she dies, and then fires anyway. It's going to depend on your team. And honestly, you got to experiment with that because that one's going to be completely different for everybody. In your case, I would think that not having energy is more important because your Skuld is so low level that your Skuld is not really supporting your Aegina that much. Or not Aegina, Themis. But you gotta balance that out and try it and see how it works for you. If Star Shards does not work on Themis for you, I almost think you don't need to put it on anyone. You're probably safe not using it on a second hero. Ward Explorer, why would you wait? You know Kurt is good. There's no guarantee the next secret treasure is going to be Aegina. And gems are constantly in flux anyway. We always just kind of get them and use them and get more. So I would say there's no point in really waiting. Especially knowing that Wish Wheel is coming at next week for gems again. If you don't have enough gems, then don't buy. Aegina is less rare than Kurt. So I would think if you can prioritize Kurt, it would be more important. But if you don't have the team to use Kurt, then you got to focus on Aegina. What artifact on Phoenix? It kind of doesn't matter. A blood metal is safe. Energy is not really important. Actually, you know what? You can use energy on Phoenix. The only reason that you do that is that he tries to fire turn 1, he burns them, and then turn 2, Themis and Valkyrie fire, and meh. So, yeah, I do think Kurt is stronger than Themis, but Themis is more safe. Meaning there's more chance of this Themis firing, even though he doesn't have Skuld. Does that mean she's stronger? No. Her damage potential is a little bit lower. So there's pluses and minuses to both. If you're aiming for total burst, Kurt is better. If you're aiming for like a safe defensive team, Themis is probably better. Ward, I really don't think it's a good idea to bank on the converting. You're losing 9 copies, like 9 5-star fodder. It's very expensive to do that. And Luna's just not that good anyway. Who is Kurt? Kurt is Kurtelmac, the Horde Mage. Nino, the tips are... There is no tip, really. There is only if you can't afford the gems to reach Aegina, Lorelei, Sizo, don't spend your free gems, or don't spend your free spins, and don't spend anything on the Wish Wheel. Okay, so, back to him. Is Themis better using Gift of Creation, HLJ, or Star Shards? She does... So, we don't know if Star Shards is better. If you find that she's better without it, then use HLJ, because that's stronger. The Gift of Creation, honestly, she doesn't need that much. What hero to focus next? Verthandi is a great one to focus on because you definitely need a tank. I mean, Themis, I think, can tank a little bit, but I think your damage may falter if Themis dies too fast. Hi, Marfin and Argon. I think you want to keep Themis alive as long as possible, so focusing Verthandi is very, very solid. There is no reason to focus on getting your Phoenix 10 stars because, honestly, he is not important. He really is not important on your team. Especially because he's only 9-star and his skill misses. He only gets the no miss at T4. Do you pull for Azathoth or keep for Skuld? That's a you decision, honestly. You can always you can always change your mind and just use your Moonstones for Skuld instead. But you probably don't need Azathoth. You're so far away from finishing a T4 team that... How many keys do you have? 1 copy. You can only pull 1. You only get 1 copy of Azathoth. It's not even an issue. So don't worry about it. Hi, Rafi. A Ward Explorer, when you convert, you lose... Okay, so if you break them down, you get everything back. If you convert, you're using the T4 Luna... and you are using 9 copies of Lorelei, Dro, whoever. So basically, you are spending 9 5-stars in all to do the conversion. That's pretty expensive, and something that you don't want to be doing unless you know absolutely for sure that's what you want to do. Now, if you convert at the 10-star level, okay, that's fine. You only waste 5 copies, but still not something that you want to rely on. Alright, actually, did we answer everything? Yeah, Tassio, I don't think you're late. So... Okay, well, T1 is 6 copies. Still wasteful, not as bad as it could be. Like I said, it's very wasteful to convert unless you've made a critical mistake. Farhan, I would... Depends if you have Star Shards or not. If you have Star Shards already, then you can take Skuld. Okay, so as a team, how do we rate this? Freya alone makes the damage pretty solid. Themis is pretty solid. I'd say your damage is not bad. Themis is not amazing in your case because your Phoenix and Skuld are so low. Hi, Sanasam. Elias, it's totally worth it. That's actually more worth it because Reaper is so strong early on that changing him into Detlef at the end point is fine. But, like, this guy is building Luna, who is pretty bad all the way through. Sarab, you will not even close. Russell, if you're 10-starring the Medusa, it's to make her fodder for someone else later. Brian... So I said Kurt was more important than Peaks. I kind of think Aegina is not. Honestly, I've found Aegina to be way more common than Kurt. I mean, there's way more people with Kurt out there, or way more people with Aegina out there than Kurt. That's gotta mean something. Okay, so let's rate this team. It's no Aura, it's okay. Average tank. 7.5. Let's go 7.5. I think it's a solid team. I can't be a 6. He's got a T4 Freya. T4 Freya, decent tank in Verthandi, and he's got a T4 Themis. His two T4s are not bad choices. So, Maybe 7 or 7.5. I'm not sure. 7.5. I could give it 7.5. I think his team splits are good. Yeah, sorry. I mean, his picture's so wide it's hard to see. I'll do better on the next one. Back when people post regular screenshots like this. All right, now I have to bring it back into the right angle, the right aspect ratio. Oh boy. Okay, so this is Slick. Wait, Slick, did you submit last time? You did not. 7.75. Alright, he posted 2 pictures. See, this is as good as Unity gets. Like, there's actually very little improving on you minus Bale and Aegina. And even then, it's not huge. So this is like as solid as the basic player gets. What VIP is he? He has it hidden. We'll say 8.5. This is as good as it gets. There's like no improvement again that you really can make. 2 Phoenix is not solid anymore. It's no longer a powerhouse team. Going off Aura soon? You better have a good reason to, because I see that Kurt, and going off Aura for Kurt is a terrible idea. I think that you will find that this Kurt is going to be very hard to use in your team. Take it easy, Dragon Eye. I hope you feel better. Don't watch too much TV. Calais, depends what your Discord name was. Because if it's Calais no Hea 2, then no, you did not. T4, Kurt, and Themis? Putting them together is not amazing, I think. If you're going to use them together, you better have double skulled. Kurt is hard to use without double skulled. Kurt Themis alone, you're going to suffer a lot. It's not going to do that great. The thing is, because of the Phoenix nerf, we don't know exactly how badly the burst meta is changed. Because remember, now they no longer can kill you on turn 2 as easily. Like if they don't have full setup for Kurt, maybe with double Kurt or double Kurt and Themis and Lorelei or something, it's very hard for people to do the full burst on you. And so we will see Kurt single Skuld, single Freya. More than 50 is not good enough. If it's not like 75-80% win ratio, it's not good enough. 60% win ratio is a very high loss rate. That means that having it, and also I don't think it's that amazing on defense. So we'll see. Skipping second star, Sanasam I would not. So we'll see how it goes. Like I could not tell you how it's gonna be. Gujen, we don't know what the 10 of 10 team looks like anymore. We really don't. We just know that Unity is stronger than it's ever been before. At this time, probably Unity is the strongest it's ever been in history relative to off Aura teams. Hi Skeledude, Lexon. Single Kurt, single Skuld, single Phoenix, single Verthandi. It shouldn't lose that regularly, but also your team levels are all around the place. Lorelei needs to be fast. Like, if Lorelei is not faster than their whole team, she is actually kind of wasted. The off-aura team before Kurt was Double Phoenix, Skuld. What was it before? The T4 team before Skuld, or before Kurt, was what? Double Phoenix, 1 or 2 Skulds, 1 Valkyrie. Huh, I don't remember. Freya's maybe? Freya was unreliable, but she was there. I don't remember the history of it, but at the 10-star level, it was double Phoenix, double Mars, Skuld, and Valkyrie. That team dominated all of 10-star meta. Will Lore go faster than Freya at 300? She will if you set her up to. If you use full speed on Lorelei and don't use full speed on Freya, Lore can be faster. But your goal is not that Lorelei is faster than your Freya. Your goal is that your Lorelei is faster than their Freya. And let me see what my Lorelei is at. Let me take a look here. So, Freya speed 1234, Lorelei speed 1187. So she's got to hit 47 speed higher. So if Freya goes full speed, Lorelei is 5 speed lower than Freya. Actually. She is actually 5 speed lower. Russell, not anymore. That team is actually very bad now. So then it comes down to... It then comes down to the skin. The skin is the only way you can get faster than a full speed Freya. Dang, that sucks. Now, most people don't have the Lorelei skin, and I reiterate that people don't use Freya at full speed, but that's going to depend on your server. So, let's go back to this, and we'll say Slick has a great team. I didn't know that the skin was required for her to be faster than Freya. So, we will... The meta is constantly evolving, and I think we're going to be in a very interesting place when we start requiring people to have the skin. Alright, this is Alejandro. Which means that I need to suck it up and buy the skin, huh? Man. That's painful. I don't want to do it. I really don't want to do it. Let me make sure. Let me see how bad the package is. Alright, the skin is... Wow, it comes with nothing. It comes with nothing. 15 keys, 10 advanced wheel. Oh my god. They need to put a skin in an event soon. Otherwise, I'm in trouble. Because Boomin has the skin, and his Lorelei is kind of walking over my Lorelei, and it's kind of annoying. Willy, Freya should have energy. Break down, shoot, and... How about I break down Monkey King? How about I break down Monkey King? I'll break down his skin and Shude's skin and take Lorelei's. That'll work, right? If I break down 2 skins? So we'll take off Monkey King. Take off this one. So if I break this... Oh my god. I'm never going to use Shoot again, and I'm probably... And Monkey King is mediocre. Oh my god, that hurts. Should I do it? Do I have any other skins that I don't really care about? That feels so wasteful. It's like so wasteful. Like that's a very, very expensive move to make. That, like, that's basically throwing money down the drain. Brian, Lorelei de-speeds their Freya and guarantees that most of your team goes faster. God. I mean, the option is what? If I don't do it, I gotta buy the skin. I don't want to buy the skin. Man. Alright, Alejandro, what's the point of you submitting this team? It's not even 80 to 100. It's straight up $100. I mean, what am I looking at on this team? Are you trying to flex? This guy's got everything. You just make a perfect unity and ride with that for now. There's Gamer, you can post now. Should be okay. So I don't understand where this guy is going. We'll give him an 8.5 and call it a day. I mean, he's got all the good... What should you work on besides Kurt? Kurt is always worth it. But you, in your case, you really would benefit from a second Skuld. Alright, we'll just give it an 8.5. I mean, you've got as good as it gets. Willie, if your goal is to have Freya fire, Phoenix needs to outspeed her at all times. Phoenix needs to fire before Freya does, therefore Freya gets the extra 30% bonus. That's just... If you're going to use Phoenix to buff up the rest of the team, that is like requirement number 1. Phoenix must fire before your big people fire. That is all it is. Teddy, what can I do for you? Cattail. Teddy, what can I do for you? Teddy, what can I do for you? Teddy. Hi, I can't read the chat right now. Elias, 8. Actually, I'm going to say the max is about a 9 for a Unity if you have Bale. I can't read the chat right now. Actually, there's Teddy. Teddy, why? You don't need to go back there. Oh my god, Tacos, you should be okay. Alejandro, Lindbergh is not good. Alright, Rye Guy. Okay. Oh my god, this cat. Teddy, can I help you? Gum, I can't stream. I am not streaming on Wednesday, so I had to do Team Critique today. Willie, they reuse events non-stop. Every Wish Wheel event is the same. That's just how it works. Oh, Teddy. This cat. This cat. What are you doing? What are you doing? Look at that tummy. Look at this tummy. Teddy. You don't need to be digging around back there. Oh god. Now I'm just dropping things. Hold on. Teddy is knocking things down, so move things around and maybe he will knock things down less. El Nino, you certainly can. I take all accounts, all levels. Okay. Man, now I got cat hair in my face. Skeledude, that seems ridiculously strong. Alright. You're gonna start building Kurt. Man. This is a tough position to be in. So many people are now starting to build Kurt before they build Phoenix. And I don't know how he does. Like, this is a world... This is a new situation for everybody now that Kurt has been available so many times, and they have refused to make Phoenix available at all in event rewards. So people are struggling to get Phoenixes. And so the question is, how does Kurt do? And in general, he doesn't do that good without Phoenix and Scold. But now, with the Phoenix nerf, now it's another whole new world, and the answer is, I don't have an answer, actually. Until more people talk about how they're doing with one Kurt, no Phoenix, no Scold, I don't have experience to do. I mean, Kurt probably is okay for you, but I think you're going to find that you have trouble getting damage out of him. He'll probably fail more often than he doesn't. But I don't have the answer on how exactly he will do versus Unity. Labor Day weekend was the hottest on record for Los Angeles. So this last weekend was bad. It was bad. It was 120 degrees, which let me convert that to Celsius. It was 49 degrees Celsius yesterday. It was the worst Labor Day ever. Okay, so let's see. Verthandi, Lorelei, Freya, Unity. We can give this an 8. Alex, I mean... Oh, no, man. Teddy, what are you doing? Why do you need to step on everything? Ah, this cat. Okay, so I would give this an 8. Solid time. Alex, if I get to it, I mean, I'll critique it. If you didn't include questions with your screenshots, then rip, I guess. Ty, I guess Dro, so your guess is as good as mine. It really could be anybody. It could be Kurt, could be Sizo, could be Lindbergh, could be Nameless King. I really don't have the answer. Alright, who is this? This is Bale. How many teams are in queue? I have no idea. But I think I can still fit a few more. The best pure tank is Monkey King. Yeah, nah. I'm American. I don't need to be civilized. Okay. Did I just look at this team? This is basically the same team as I just saw, except with Luna and Detlaf, which are not good. But... or not good at 10-star, at least. Wow! What is this? Are you waiting for... Holy, what the heck is going on here? 7 Dro, at least 4 Lorelei, 6 Lorelei, 8 Dro. It looks like it's still... Wait. Oh, my YouTube froze. No? No, it's fine. Should still be going. So... he's got a lot of Valkyrie. I don't know what you're waiting for, actually. Oh, I see. You only have 3 Lorelei. Three, four, five, six. Well, okay. You're waiting for T4 Verthandi. Okay. Since you've sorted your bag like this, and I don't know who you have available, I think your next focus should be Lorelei. You don't have enough Phoenix. You don't have enough Detlaf. Detlaf really does better when you have Skuld, to be fair. But... okay, well, okay. Honestly, between Detlaf and Lorelei, go for whoever you like better. It doesn't even matter at that point. They're both... you don't need Detlaf as much right now, and Lorelei will benefit your team just as much because you have big damage that benefits from her speed increase. How should you position them? This is fine. You might consider throwing someone in the back. Skuld helps everyone. End of story. Skuld helps everybody. But Detlaf is especially vulnerable to crowd control. Actually, so is Valkyrie, but she clears it at 30%. Detlaf has no way to clear his crowd control at all, so if he gets stunned, silenced, and he is very slow, so it's very possible to just completely stop him from firing. Skuld helps that. Convert Luna to Lorelei? Yes. I wouldn't necessarily convert Luna to Dro, but converting to Lorelei would be solid. Elias Lorelei is far, far better. I gotta redo the top heroes video, but I want to wait for Azathoth to be out. Russell Shoot's not that good anymore. Man, I really want that Lorelei skin. To break down 2 skins that I barely use. But, I don't know. Oh, I see. He does have one at 50%. Well, I've had fights where Valkyrie doesn't get to fire for the entire game. So, yeah, Lawrence, it's old. It needs to be updated. But like I said, I'm waiting for Azathoth. I definitely have had fights where Valkyrie never got to fire, and same with Detlaf. So Skuld is just the most reliable way to help people. And even with Skuld, I've had Valkyrie not fire. So all you're doing is maximizing your chances. Okay, so this team, an 8, 7.5, 8, just like Raigai. Solid. Hi, Zareth. Double Skuld is only really important if you've got Kurt or Themis, who, if they don't fire, you basically have lost. For everyone else, it's kind of just like, regular battle strategy. Alright. So this is Nebula. Is Detlaf only good at T4? Yes. He needs to be T4, otherwise there's really no point. 2 Skulds and 2 Kurts is good. It is. You'd probably like to have a Phoenix alongside that if possible. Hammam Phoenix has been very hard to get lately. Alright, what am I looking at? Okay, okay. No more Valkyries. Ty, because Phoenix gives Kurt an extra 30%. If Kurt fires without any Phoenix buff, I don't think he typically one-shots a team. Okay, how the heck do I rate this? Where do you go from here? That's an 8-star Lorelei. And you've got enough to 9-star. And you've got fodder. So this person probably is waiting on flags. Which means what? Willie, they're honestly interchangeable. If you know for certain Detlef is most likely going to get a kill, then his one-on damage is better. If you think he's going to have trouble getting his kill reliably, and he's going to be firing without getting the kill, like if they have Scold, then his below 30% one is pretty safe. But honestly, I don't think one is always better than the other. Just depends on the team. How many gems for Lorelei and Wishwheel? With no spins, it should be around 20,000. Which is actually written over there, if you would read that. Okay, so on this team, I actually almost think that Khalil is better than Medusa. The moment that you have T2, Valkyrie is kind of critical to being all of your damage. And so Khalil to buff her up is going to help more than a 9-star Medusa, who is honestly not a major source of damage anymore at this time. So that's one option. And actually, if you do that, that's one more fodder that you can use to T3 Valkyrie. Zareth, you're totally welcome to. Oh, okay. Let's see here. I think Thursday is going to be a very long stream. There's going to be a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of people wanting to pull. Me included. I want to pull 3 rounds and 2 rounds. So I might do 2 community streams. So I might do Thursday and then do another one on Friday instead of Ghost of Tsushima. So I will aim to start earlier and go longer on Thursday, and then we'll do another one on Friday. But we'll see what the interest looks like. I don't know exactly how many people, but Aldem, our favorite, wants to pull on 8 accounts, so him alone could be most of a stream. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so Khalil over Medusa. The rest of the team, honestly, is fine. You're just waiting for copies of anything. Walnir is the only hero here that you would not want to take above 10. Walnir and Medusa, but Medusa is already basically fodder. Lorelei, Freya, Skuld is good. Just waiting on copies. Honestly, you're very stuck. Verthandi is a safe option to go off Aura, but if you're struggling for fodder for Skuld, then you probably we'll have to decide what you want to do with Verthandi. But because you don't have copies of Skuld, you only have your 2 copies, you may want to consider giving her up entirely and going straight to Verthandi and making her instead. Just because Verthandi is so much easier to make and so much easier to get to T4 and will help you so much more than a 7-star Skuld. So this team... 6.5 maybe? Oops. It's not... P-Hawk, whoever said Phoenix is not good? I have never said that. I don't believe anybody has ever said that. So I'm not sure where that opinion came from. The only thing that's not good is double Phoenix on a team, because that got nerfed. Alright, next is UV. I know you were looking to get critiqued last time. Welcome back, Alex. Okay. In your case, you need to focus on Freya. Lorelei is support for damage, and Kurt is unreliable damage. Freya is... Cartavia, I don't know. Maybe? On that note, I'm going to cut off. Oh, it's not looking good. Let's say that. I let it open way too long. Hey, good night, El Nino. Is your team layout good? Oh, you're in Zweibel Boys. Hey, you're on my cluster. The team order is fine. You really need to prioritize leveling up this Aegina, I guess. Okay, so... Wow, you leveled up a lot of people. You leveled up a lot of people. Okay, so in your case... You probably want to start focusing hard on Freya. You've got copies to take her to 9, copies to take her to 10, and T1. You've got enough to take her to T1. You should probably work on getting her all the way to T4 and have her be your first T4. You can scrap Grand, scrap Medusa. You can take the lone hero to 9 and scrap him. Take the Aiden to 9 and scrap him. Take, I don't know, Saw or Vivienne to 10 and use them as fodder. Like, you've got the resources, the starting point to start focusing hard on this Freya. So for you, Freya, go Freya all the way. Go as high as you can and take her as high as possible. Well, if you need flags, then you just gotta wait for that, but that's gonna be your process. Your entire goal right now, drop working on anyone else, focus on Freya hard. And then you'll end up like the other guy, the guy before you who had a T2 Valkyrie, and that's perfectly fine. Freya is a great one to work with. And you've got Verthandi, who's not a terrible tank, so at 9 stars. Alright, so this team... I can give this a 7. The reason that I rate this higher than Nebula is because his team is more balanced on his levels. And he's only going to be fighting other 9-star people, which gives him a little bit better advantage. I think 111 with a full 8-star, 9-star team, that's not so bad. For VIP 0, that's pretty solid. Hi, Arc Ninja. Gamer Ghost for Legion points only by Miracle Eyes. So, more balanced, Unity, decent heroes, we'll give it a 7. Dro for Lorelei? Yes. Next will be Rash. Let's try and go a little bit faster. I don't want to end too short today. Wow. Okay. So you gave up Unity to use Themis. Alright, Rash. I'm sure you've discovered that Themis is not super strong in this case. As soon as, right after that Keys event with Themis, a lot of people made this team and were disappointed. I can't imagine you had any different experience than that. So this team actually is not better than Unity by much or at all. I don't know. I don't know what we can do with this. But we know that Themis fails in this team. This has been the overall consensus, and so this team struggles a lot. And the safest option is to find a way to get back to Unity. It's only been 3 weeks since Themis became commonplace, and less than that since the double Phoenix team got nerfed. And so we are all in new territory, and nobody knows what the best way to get out of this team is. T4 Dro I don't recommend anymore. Dro just is not... She doesn't carry like she used to. Her accuracy really hurt. And so... And also, clerics are not even like as critical anymore. Remember that Dro's whole thing was to stop multiple clerics. Multiple Phoenix is gone. Scold is the only other cleric. So now you've got Phoenix, Scold, and that's it. That's only 3 clerics. The other team probably won't have a Dro. They're just going to have mages. So now Dro got even more nerfed because she's not even hitting clerics anymore. Olivia T4 is mediocre. We'll say that. I couldn't tell you how good, but I'm going to assume not amazing. Willie, no. The thing is, Themis doesn't do enough damage. It's not a matter of she needs double Scald to make her fire. It's a matter of her damage is not enough to wipe the team on her own. Should you convert Detlef to Aegina? Absolutely not. Keep Aegina, or keep Detlef. Make Aegina from scratch. Alright, so we'll give this an 8. Detlef is very useful, especially in Honor. You can put him alone on an Honor team and watch him kill weak teams. It's pretty awesome. Alright, next will be Songon, who says, I've got energy on Phoenix, Skuld, Valkyrie, Speed. Freya is getting swapped for Lorelei. I don't even know how to critique this team anymore. I really don't know. I assume this team is pretty solid, but I know people have been experimenting with Themis tank. And I know she does good, but I don't think she does good every time. And I don't have the answer on just how good this is. This gets to be a little too high-end for my experience. I've never played with Kurt or Themis, so I don't know how this does against Unity. In fact, I don't know anybody with a T4 Themis to even test my team against, so I have no idea. Gamer Ghost, take Walnir. Detlef is trash before T4. Arc Ninja, Death Break is always better than Attack Rune for non-clerics. Diek, if you need fodder and you think that you want to build Aegina, you should pull for her. She's amazing, and Detlef is not amazing at 9 stars. So, I don't know how this team does. This is a black hole. I haven't heard enough information about how this team performs. I have a feeling it's unreliable, but I don't know. So honestly, if this was a Lorelei instead, this would basically be the highest end team. This would be what a 10 team should theoretically look like, I think. But I don't have the answer to that. So I'm just going to say we'll give this a 9. Whoops. Should we give a 9.5 or a 9? Uh, 9.5? We'll say 9.5. My God, the idea that Valkyrie is being pushed into speed is crazy. That now we are pushing speed build Valkyries in order to fit her into these teams. To take the place of like the second Phoenix or something. It's a sign of how much the meta is evolving around us. And so you can't sit pretty at all. Everything just keeps changing. And GT1 honestly is behind the meta. So my experiences on my own server are not the same as what everyone else is experiencing because I don't have people pushing the teams this high. Detlef T2 is not that amazing. He needs to be T4. So we'll give Songon a 9 and go with that. It's a solid 9. Could be 9.5, but I don't know for sure. Jaleel, that's what the Phoenix is for, or the Skuld, I mean. Unity doesn't have that much crowd control. You've got Aegina, who's unreliable. You've got Freya, who's unreliable. You've got what? Lorelei's not crowd control. She slows everyone down. The thing about this team is, if Kurt gets to fire, if Kurt and Themis fire, it's over. If one of them fires, he's probably going to wipe half the team. So this is a team where you've got so many weapons to take care of that it's very hard to stop them all, even with crowd control. Unless your Freya somehow gets 6-man petrifies twice in a row, you're probably not going to be able to hold this team long enough to do it, especially if he gets Lorelei. If he gets a T4 Lorelei with speed and the skin, very hard to stop. Very, very hard to stop. But again, it's out of my range of knowledge. Alright, next is Bella. Yeah, Chimera, that was my thought. If this was Lorelei, this would basically be a 10 team. Three Ultimas fire and then Kurt. That is not that amazing, I think. Oops, I'm fighting a monster. Doesn't Ultima... If Ultima fires skill, it's only increasing speed, isn't it? Unless the T4 does something different. But 10-star Ultima only increases speed when she fires. Oh, 20% attack. Okay. Nobody has built 3 10-star or T4 Ultimas. 10-star Ultima is also 20% attack. I don't know if it's enough. It's an idea. Definitely one worth examining, but you gotta have a team built around it. And that's a very, very niche team. And one that pretty much nobody has built before. Alright, so I want to build an Ultima eventually. I'll probably do it after Olivia. If I still don't have Bale or anything left. Alright, so... Huh, Kurt in back? Really? Is it better to change Themis with Scold and Freya with Lorelei on that team? There's reasons to make Themis tank. Because Themis is... What's the point in even having that Phoenix? Phoenix is not going to get to fire. Actually, wait. All the Ultimas will fire, then Phoenix will fire, then... Huh. That's an interesting team. I don't think anybody has built it before. Okay, so Kurt is an interesting choice here. Maybe I really should build an Ultima. I just don't have a team for it. Bang, if you have a 10-star Kurt, you don't care if he dies. So having him in back means that his damage is... You are using him to buff up your attack. Which means that you are hoping to burst them down. And I don't think that that is as important. I would think that you'd rather... I still think you would rather have him in front. I don't know, Bang. Kurt in front is safer to make the rest of the team die slower. So Kurt in back on this team is an idea just to fill in and hope that you kill them on turn 2 or turn 1. But I don't think it's enough. I don't think this is a turn 2 killing kind of team. So, I mean, I guess this is fine the way it is. Boy, the whole idea of never having my own Kurt or Themis is really holding back. I don't know. If your team is working like this, with Kurt upgrading your attack power for these two, and then trying to blow up as much as you can on turn 1, then that's a valid strategy. If it works, stay with it. And if not, swap him to the front. The front is more for anti their burst is to prevent their burst from wiping you out. Hey, Rosvi. Would Unity be better than since Kurt is so behind? Yes and no, because you got to replace 2, which means you got to use Elf and Alliance. It's not a bad option, actually. It's absolutely not a bad option to replace these 2 with Valk and a 5-star just to fill in the aura, just to make these 10% stronger. So honestly, all 3 options are good. Use this, put Kurt in front, or throw him out and make Unity. Try it out. Honestly, all 3 are strong. They all have their own benefits. Making Unity makes your team stronger for the entire battle, whereas this Kurt only makes them stronger for 1 turn, because he's going to die on turn 1 anyway. So it may be to your benefit to use Unity instead. Because, I mean, these 2 heroes, they're a waste of space anyway. They don't do damage. They're not important. They're just fillers either way. Alright, so this team will give it a... We'll give it a 7. Oops, that's an A. Lawrence, I wouldn't unless you were... Unless you know for certain you don't need Verth for honor anymore. For a 2nd, 3rd team tank, you need Verthandi. She's very, very good. But if you've hit the point where you know you don't need her, then go ahead and convert. Actually, I can give this a 7.5. We'll say 7.5. It's solid. Unity probably would put it up to an 8. And hey, Speedy. Alright. Next is Horricol. Nope, you didn't submit last time. It's a very solid team. And it goes into how Aegina is so much more common for people than Kurt. What is 6 Sigma? Okay, so, okay. Hey, Eskval. So you say, lineup order, 2 star shards. Does Valk want Deathbreak Rune and Gaia Bulga? Does... Okay. So, all of his questions are, who gets the 2nd star shards? At this time, it would be Skuld. Just because. But she doesn't really need it. Alright, what is 6 Sigma? Does he want 3 Freya Skuld Aegina? Yes. That is a great choice. If you get Phoenix, which is after Valkyrie, you may even want a 4th one for Phoenix. So his next T4 is Valkyrie, and the no one after that is Phoenix. Solid. Totally solid. In which case, you don't need one on Aegina, because Aegina is not on that list, so you would put it on Freya Skuld Phoenix. What is his hero level? It's 148. Yes, Cody. Medusa is pretty useless anyway. Okay, so. Management training. Nice. So, 2 star shards, 2nd one Skuld. Yes, all damage on Valkyrie is great. Gaia Bulga Deathbreak is a great combination. The only reason to do anything better would be as if you got a Ragnarok. But for now, that's basically perfect. Valkyrie next T4 is great. Phoenix next T4 after that is actually really amazing. If you want, you can tank Scold temporarily. If you would rather work on Aegina, it's not a bad option. Either one is totally acceptable. Tank Scold works. It's not ideal, but it works. The downside, though, is that these two guys back here are going to die before Scold does, and that's going to be wasting your revive. So Phoenix is the most stable choice. Pogi, somebody has suggested a very interesting team. What do you think? Ultima, 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 Kurt, Kurt, Phoenix. What do you think to that team? Although, wait a minute. Aren't you buffing up only... Wait. T4 Ultima buffs up the whole team or the backline? How does that change for Ultima? Because you're buffing the wrong Kurt. Yeah, it only buffs the backline. So you're buffing the wrong Kurt. How important is that? The backline Kurt is not the one that gets the... The backline Kurt has... When it says increase all allies skill damage, does that include himself? If their Aegina is not in the back, that's never going to go off. But it will prevent your second Kurt from firing. Huh. I guess it doesn't matter, because if you have two Kurts, they both get all the power up. But if you have 3 Ultimas firing and you get 60% attack, and then what, plus 90 speed, is 90 speed enough? 90 speed is enough to make him fast, but he's not using speed rune. Is it enough? I don't think Kurt, even with 90 speed, gets through, is faster than Ultima, or than Freya and Lorelei. I think if you don't build Kurt for speed, you don't have enough speed. I'm not sure. Unless Ultima gives 50 speed at T4, but I don't think she does. I think she only gives 30. Actually, I don't know. At 10 star, it's 30. I can't see the T4. If it's 50, then it's fine. If it's 30, it's not enough. So, tough call. Horricol. The lineup is... This order is fine. If you have these 4 people, T4, probably you want Phoenix, then Valkyrie, then Skuld. Or you can do Phoenix, Valkyrie, Freya, and put Skuld in the back. Now I'm curious. What is Ultima's T4? Is it enough speed? Hey, Toast Boy. Okay, Ultima's T4 is 50 speed. Okay, so 150 speed is almost enough. It's a little bit short. It's going to be shorter. It's still less speed than a full speed Freya. So actually, it's not perfect. It is not perfect. So you would have to build Kurt around speed, in which case you're losing some damage. I don't know. The forcing him to fire first with only 3 people firing before... No, 4 people because of Phoenix. It might be enough, but it might not be. And also... Okay. And then Ultima would put in 60%... Oh no, 20% crowd control. He's only putting Phoenix to be forced to fire before the Kurtz, and therefore give the Kurt an extra 30%. It's an idea. I think it has potential, but is Ultima still the fastest unit? Yes. But if you're using 3 Ultimas, what's going to happen? You're not going to set off any silence. Kurt's going to fire before they silence. And then the second Kurt may not get to fire because of silence, in which case you're screwed. So Skull doesn't help either. So it'll be Ultima, 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 then Skuld, then the first Kurt, then the second Kurt doesn't get to fire. No. Ultima, Ultima, Ultima. You can slip Skuld in between. Tricky. If you build around that, it might be doable. Alright. Next is Hyeon. I never learned Korean. Hyeon? We'll say Hyeon. The second fastest unit, or not second, is second fastest unit Azathoth? 1197. Yeah, Azathoth is the second fastest unit in the game. Oh yeah, Horricol, we skipped your score. In fact, I completely just dropped your team. Okay, let's go back to it. Honestly, this is an 8. This is a good 8. Maybe... I'll give it an 8. It's pretty good. Wait, but if you have one Kurt be slower, that means that if your first Kurt doesn't stop their Freya Lorelei, they fire. And now your second Kurt is screwed. That is a tough build. That is a very tough build. Because the moment that the second Kurt is slower than the first one, he is now slower than Lorelei Freya. So if you don't kill them all on turn 1, you lose. That's what I think. You need all of that on Kurt. Kurt has Valk level speed. He's slower than Valkyrie, meaning you need speed rune and speed T1 just to even put him somewhere in range. Valkyrie is 1440, and you gotta beat 1550 on Freya, or 1540, 1539, meaning you already need speed rune and speed T1 or an artifact on the first Kurt. The second one absolutely needs to be speed rune, which actually now means you don't have enough damage. I actually think you do not kill most teams turn 1 with that. Uh, 150 plus Let me think. With 150 plus 30... That's true, actually. That is true. That is true. So at 150, that puts him at 1530. So a T1 speed makes him faster than Freya Lorelei. Huh. But again, the whole point is the first one is now losing a whole ton of damage by using a speed rune. That's a significant drop in damage. And since you're gaining 60% from the 3 Ultimas and 30% from the thing, and then you're losing like 40%. So you're actually only upgrading 50% damage to fire on turn 1. Is that enough? I don't know if that's enough. I would have to see it in action. I don't need the speed chart. I have an idea of the numbers in my head. Okay, back to high on. Yeah, we're not getting a lot of teams done this time, it looks like. The Ultima chat has taken over. Did they nerf Ultima? No. It was never 70. I think it was 30 before. Yeah, it looks like Ultima is a solid one to build if you build around it. But I can't do it, so I don't think Ultima was ever 70 speed. Yeah, Elias, that's not enough to kill people. People have more life than that. 11 defense drops it by 11%. That puts you down to 800 or 711 damage. And then on top of that, wait, why is it only 11 defense? Remember, there's an extra 20%, there's an extra 20 defense. And remember also that everybody is using T2 damage reduction, which means you're dropping it another 20%. So that number is not enough. Nyan, I'm not sure. If I scroll through, I'll lose my place. This person made some very interesting decisions. Why did you 6-star all of your heaven? Like, why would you throw away all your fodder like that? Did you just not decide who you wanted to build? Hi, Risky. Huh. Okay. So you don't have enough Scold. You don't have enough Themis. Ryan, ultimately you will want Aegina. One Lorelei. So you've got 7 Loreleis. That's not quite enough. Potato Noob, it's pretty good. This is not ideal. Absolutely not ideal. Okay, so just because you're building Detlef doesn't mean you still don't want those copies of Aegina down the line. And if you don't get them now, where are you going to get them from? We've had some pretty bad heroes in Miracle Eye lately. The ones that I wouldn't have recommended people to pull for, not nearly as much as they should be pulling for Aegina. So unless you are resigning yourself to... Okay, Ryan, what if next event is better? What if next event gives 5 Phoenixes for free and then you just... Maybe you should sit out this one. I mean, by your own logic, that's exactly the way you should think about it, right? What if we always assume that next event is going to give us 5 Skulls? and then it doesn't, and then you wait until the next one. When are you gonna ever pull? So I don't think it's a good idea to always be waiting only because you wait for better. But you know what? That's not my choice to make, it's yours. I am choosing to pull. I will be pulling on both accounts. I mean, I don't think you understand. Aegina's really good. Like, if you don't have her, honestly, at this time, it might be impossible to beat Den 585 at this time. That's not true. The Kurt Themis teams could do it, but Aegina is absolutely one of the key ways to do it. How many do I have? I have like 450, something like that. Alright, so where is this person going? They never built an undead. Or if they built an undead, they foddered it. And same with Elf. Like, did they fodder a 9, 10 star Luna and Walnir in here somewhere? And then, did they never build any heaven at all? Frenzy, I will be doing 2 community pull streams for this one. But what heaven did they build? Did they really never build a heaven? Like, I would find that hard to believe. Like, did you really have a 9-star Nameless King that you foddered? Which is also a questionable decision in the first place. Like, how did you end up with no heaven? Aegina is significantly better than Detlaf. Detlaf is very good, but Aegina is way better. In most situations, especially once you start facing skulls reliably. Wow, what did you do? Like, how, when you look at this team, how do you look at how they got here? I can see foddering a Walnir. I can see foddering a Luna. Would you really fodder a 10-star Verthandi at this level? You would... This person is most likely going to struggle to rebuild that Verthandi. I'm assuming that because these 3 are leveled, that's all they have left. And no copies here. Level 136, so it's not an old account. I don't think this account has extra Verthandis. I actually think that this is all they have. So, actually, this person has made some very interesting decisions, I guess. Okay, okay. Is Aegina a staple? She's, Detlaf is good, but Aegina is ultimately better. Ryan, I would like to have at least 2 star shards, minimum. More than that depends on your team. So where do you go from this? I guess you start building... You don't need Verthandi because of Phoenix. So you could start working on Lorelei. Or you could start working on Detlaf. Either of those would be the option. Oh, you've got 3 Detlafs there. So you got 7 Detlafs. That's easy. You'll have 9 no time, especially if you buy them from Souls. Dr. Stanley, if you're trying to put it in general, you can't put pictures in general. Just go to another channel like Showcase and you can post there. I have permission to send me pictures on anything. If Verthandi isn't a tank, can she be a damage dealer? No. Her damage is not... Damage Reflect is most of her damage. Detlaf next? Honestly, I'd say it's 50-50. Detlaf, Lorelei. Whichever one you think you can finish. Detlaf is definitely easier to finish than Lorelei. But if you luck into a bunch of Lorelei copies, making Lorelei next is not a bad idea either. So pick and choose whichever one you think that you'll make next. Hey Valeriano. Detlef is a solid choice. Shall we give it a 7? Like you have absolutely nothing aside from 3 heroes. The other heroes, they're not even 9-star, they're not 10-star, they're all level 10s. So when you fill the team with fodder, you really filled it with fodder. Ryan, that is not Monkey King's ability. That is... Wait, an hourglass? An hourglass ability? They actually show you the abilities. Well, I don't remember where you see it. Oh, it's in help somewhere. The rotating hourglass. I'm not sure what that one is. Hold on. Where is the... Oh, here we go. Take a look at this. It's right here. So here is an hourglass. When the marked target reaches a specified number of rounds, so you can see all of the ones here. So this is under guide. And then you come down here to fighting state and you can see them all. So Monkey King does have a mark. I believe it's on his skill where after 2 turns they take a bunch of extra damage. So you can see all of them. Crit mark, round mark. Huh. This is a new one that's just there. Yeah, Stanley, showcase is just fine. Alright, 7.5. Okay, I can see 7.5. This is one that I would be perfectly fine seeing. I think it's fine. It's very imbalanced, but that's not so bad at this. Okay, Willie. So the thing about that is, again, Lorelei is support. For me, I typically don't see my Lorelei doing a huge amount of damage. That might be because I have mine built for speed for specific reasons. I don't know how Bold gets so much damage out of his Lorelei's. I really don't. But Aegina or Lorelei... I would think Aegina. Aegina can give you results without seeing... Without Lorelei. Is Boomin still playing? Yes. And Ethan, this is Team Critique Day, which is something I've been doing every 2 weeks for a little while now. Ethan, I have closed team submission for today. There's already more than I will be able to get to. So this is... Who is this? Durango. Martin, you are too late, and team submissions are closed for today. You know, I look at this and I think this is someone that's been stuck for a while, that this was their one awaken for the weekly quest. And, you know, that's perfectly normal. Mars or Lindbergh? Mars is better, but not by much. They're both pretty bad at high end. T3. Srikan, Detlaf. Why would your setup for Detlaf at 10 star be any different than one at T4? Eddie, I'm not taking team questions on chat today, sorry. Only not on team critique days. This one I can give a 7. I think it's solid. I don't know what your priority is, but it looks like you're just waiting for copies, I guess. What makes Saizo good? What makes Saizo potentially good is that his skill prevents people from reviving, which means that if she were to, or if he hits correctly, he can stop someone from reviving and basically take them out of the battle. However, it doesn't work. It doesn't work on Skuld, it doesn't work on Themis. So with that in mind, since most people have a Skuld at the highest end, Saizo is basically useless. Like, it means that he doesn't even get his kill. And his whole thing is about getting that kill on someone that doesn't revive, and he can't do it. So, honestly, he ends up being not good because of that. Ah, you're waiting on flags? Alright, I mean, this team, I could give it a 7. What are you waiting on flags for? For Valkyrie? An OP assassin? If they release an OP assassin, the one thing that he needs above anything else is a skill that doesn't miss. If you give any assassin a skill that doesn't miss, you are looking at a very dangerous hero. But it's also got to do like 400, 500% damage. Would I buy heroes from Moonshop? Yes. Well, Saizo's skill doesn't miss, but it also doesn't work. So, there is that. Actually, let me look at the rest of them. Does Bloodtooth's miss? Oh, Bloodtooth's doesn't miss. Okay, so I lied. Not missing is not the only thing they need. How about Zexanoth? Zexanoth can't miss either. Okay, I lied. Because clearly Zexanoth's not good. So then what is it that they need? They need... Saizo has self-crowd control clearing, which is important. Bloodtooth seems to be good early, but is not endgame viable. What else do they need? Crowd control? Detlaf skill does not miss. It is 600% that does not miss. If Lindbergh's skill didn't miss, he would be amazing. As simple as that. If Lindbergh alone, that change alone, would actually make him really good. So it's tough. Like they need crowd control, or they need to hit multiple people with something, and they need to not miss. And they need probably some sort of an energy or crowd control mechanic. Maybe. Like, if you look at Lindbergh's kit, because he gains energy when someone dies, He has 100% stun rate. If that was combined with does not miss, I feel like he would instantly become much better. Would he be OP? I half agree with you, because if they have Heaven and Hell or Aegina in the back, it would fail. Because it would not work. And he's very susceptible to crowd control himself. And then he's very squishy, so he would die. So I don't think it would make him OP. I think it would make him a threat. But if he didn't control the battle starting in round 1, he would suck. And just... Okay, so... Durango, if you're waiting on flags, you're fine. I don't know who you're waiting for. He never answered. Fodder for Verthandi and 10-star Lorelei. I wouldn't focus on the 10-star Lorelei unless you're trying to make her a T4. If Lorelei is your next T4, then okay. But if not, don't waste your fodder at this time unless you know it's someone that you're building T4. Hey, Kaneki Ken. So we'll give him a 7. Solid place to be. This is a good build. This is a good start, and hopefully you have enough copies to make things later on. All right, Alex Vogel. I mean, if you think about it, if they had Lindbergh and you knew that he doesn't miss, you would build around it. You would throw Freya, Skuld, Aegina in the back, and you would wreck him on turn 1. Artifact for Detlef is Soul Torrent, or Giant Lizard, or Dragon Ring. All 3 of those are good. You're way poor on purple. I can't tell that, actually, because Verthandi is not that underleveled and you have a 300. But at the same time, everybody is purple poor, so... And there you go. You throw a Lindbergh in the back and he can't stun himself. But if he dies to the other Lindbergh's hit because he's so squishy, that's a problem too. You're going to replace Dro for Lorelei. Valk and Dro? Wait, what? You're going to replace Valk and Dro for Lorelei? Like, you're going to have 2 Loreleis? 200 to 250? I believe it's about 90 million purple. Oh, well, I figured you just had them because you foddered the other heroes that you had, and this happens. I mean, you made your 9-star fodders, and now you're using new people that you can't level. That's normal, totally normal. The only thing I gotta say is this Dro is fairly useless at 7 stars. Even the Lorelei would be better. Dro does not have her cleric stun until 10 stars, so before 10, Dro is like whatever. Alright, so as a team, Aegina is not a carry. She's too squishy. This is a team that's not gonna go head to head with single Freya, single Detlef, single Verthandi, single Valkyrie even. I think Aegina will fail to all of those. So unfortunately, this is not a team that goes head to head with all single. All right, Ethan, let me stop you there. Let me stop you there, okay? Let me completely stop what you just said. You just said that this Dro heal is crucial. A, the Dro is 7 stars, not T4. B, it's level 100. Have you seen a level 100 stats? That Dro is healing about 5,000 health. 5,000. Now, you tell me how useful 5,000 health is when you've got 800,000. I mean, if this Dro stayed alive 160 turns, then yes. Dro does silence the team at 50%. The thing about Detlef is, if he doesn't crit, he doesn't kill. That's his biggest weakness. But if you max his crit rate, he doesn't kill high HP people because his crit doesn't do enough damage. Okay, so you say Aegina single T4? I think she loses to Verthandi. I think she loses to Detlef. Freya is a fair comparison because Freya is a weak 1v1 anyway. She'd probably lose to Monkey King. And she'd probably lose to Valkyrie. So, mediocre. Not terrible. She beat a Monkey King? Wow. But Monkey King does... That probably would be some luck then. If Monkey King didn't petrify her a few times, I would say that's not reliable. I don't think it would happen all the time. Anyway, so I'd say this is like a middling team. I'd say this is a team that struggles in most situations against high-end single T4s. So 6 sounds good. I would give it 6. But you know where you need to go. You need to build this Verthandi, and you need to, and you said you're working on Lorelei and Valkyrie. So once those get up and your team becomes very solid, I think you're in a great place. But it's going to be a slow path getting there because it's like Aegina is just not a really strong single T4. Is Shude food? Don't ask me to say it. Please don't ask me that. I will always tell you that Shude is not food, but you will be told differently by everybody else. So, I am not the person to ask that question. Alright, this is... Who is this? This is Yi. Like, if Shude gets another buff, which she easily could, they've fixed people multiple times in a row. They could easily make her good again. I don't know what it would take. She's not good in every team. If you can build a team that's very crowd control heavy, that can stop all their bubbles and force their Skuld into a crowd control situation, Shude could be good. But at the current time, when the teams are Skuld heavy, it's going to be very hard to make her good right now. Risky to build, risky to fodder is it's a very tough place to be in. So fodder more than 9 copies is safe. She's fairly simple to get. There are some teams at T4 where Shoot actually can be a very big pest. Alright, so... Wait, who is Yi? Vagrant Knight, is this you? No? Zachary, you're not going to get much by returning. I think Phoenix Stones are too critical to waste in that situation. You're not losing so much by... You're not gaining so much back by returning a 7-star that it's worth it. Good night, Dr. Stanley. Pogi, can you make a Shoot team for me? I really want to make one. We'll make it with Mars, maybe Luna, and Freya. Mars, Luna, Freya, Shoot, Olivia, and who would be the last one? I guess Kurt? Medusa? No, Medusa's not worth it. I guess it's just Phoenix to fill it in. I'm hedging my bets on Shoot. That's why I refuse to fodder one. Vagrant, I would start building a second Agene. Okay, Tom, so this is you. This is an okay team. Oh, Wolf Rider. Wolf Rider... Like, I want to believe in Wolf Rider, but I feel like his damage is too low to matter. I feel like his stun chances and his bonus to stun is not enough to matter. I refuse to fodder my 10-star Shoot. I will not do it. Especially not while she's got a skin. Just you wait. One day, that tuxedo cat is going to be killing everybody. May not be today, may not be tomorrow, may not be this year, but one day it will happen. You know, there's not much you can do with this team. You're waiting on copies. It looks like you're aiming for this Freya, which is perfectly good. Or not Freya, Verthandi. First T4 Verthandi, super solid. Give this a 7. Reaper 10. Reaper is... Yeah, you can make Reaper 10. Oh, to feed to Verthandi? If you know for certain you don't plan to make T4 Reaper, and he's not bad, like if he was your second T4, that actually wouldn't be a bad option. If you know for certain that that is not your plan, then yes, you can fodder. You can fodder the Reaper. But that you have to make that decision for yourself, because using T4 Reaper to cheese people is absolutely viable. He is super strong as a single T4 or a second T4. He will carry. But if you know you're not going that path, and most people aren't, you can fodder him. Dio Ripper is terrible. So, yeah, this is solid. Any way you slice it, this is solid. Yeah, I would probably fodder Reaper. Cody, for anybody for any early players especially, Heaven and Hell is the only way that you're going to get enough 4 or 5-star Heaven and Hell fodder to even take a Heaven and Hell to 10 stars. There's no other way to get enough fodder to do it. And for later accounts, that's pretty much the only way that you're going to be seeing copies of Skuld, Azathoth, Bale, Themis, and all that. It's much easier to get them from Miracle Eyes than it is from keys or any other events. So you just got to maximize your chances. Freya T4? Okay, so if Freya is your next bet, then you don't need Reaper anymore. So yeah, get rid of Reaper. You're fine. Like, if you're going to build Reaper, it's going to be your first or second T4. Anything after that, it gets dicey. It gets into the point where you're like, it could be good, not that great. Alright, next is Lamb. Bale or Freya? Bale is better at T4. And Bale is better before T4 if paired with Skuld. If not paired with Skuld, Freya is better. Dio Shudmel is not that great either, though. Eon, let me say this. If you have them and you don't have a use for them, you are in a good place. If you don't need to use Phoenix Stones, it means that you haven't made any mistakes that you think need fixing. So think of it as a good sign that you don't know how to use them. And stockpile them, because they're very rare. Okay, Lamb. Okay, so nice basic team. There's no need to stay too even with heroes like this, but the fact that you stayed all at 7 stars kind of means that you don't have an idea of who you want to build, which is a good place to be. You're going to pull for Aegina. Aegina is a much better choice to take to 9 stars than Aiden. Of these heroes, Tiger King, Aiden, Vivienne, and Medusa all want to be replaced. So, pulling for Aegina, great choice. Everybody that doesn't have a T4 Aegina should probably be pulling for her. As Pogi says, Aegina really is one of the best heroes that you can hope to find as a Miracle Eye reward. There's a lot of people that keep saying, I want to save, what if they put in Azathoth? And the answer is Azathoth will never be the final reward for Miracle Eyes. That's not going to happen. So Aegina is the best that you will see. Except for maybe Kurt. So definitely worth pulling for. Alright, so as a team, how do I know? Has Themis been a reward? Heaven and Hell is treated differently than other factions. The Heaven and Hell heroes typically are not offered as the final reward in Miracle Eyes until much later when the next hero has been released. Mars and Lindbergh only got put in after Skuld came out, and guess how many times, listen to this, guess how many times Skuld has ever been a final reward for Miracle Eyes? From the moment she was released until now. Guess how many times she was a reward? And I'll give you a hint, the answer is a big fat 0. Skuld has never been the final reward for Miracle Eyes. So, using that, Themis has not, and therefore Bale has not. And so we can assume that at this time, Bale, Themis, Azathoth, and Skuld are the 4 heroes that will not come out in Miracle Eyes. Now, as Pogi says, trends can always change, but based on 2 years of trends, there's no reason to assume that it's going to be completely shaken up unless there is some sort of a major update to the game or the devs get rolled over or something like that. Just, you can basically make a very educated guess that that's not what's going to happen. And you can look up all the past Miracle Eyes you want. You won't find Skuld. And she is the oldest of them. Okay, so Lamb, if I had to rate this team... Oops. Oh, crud, I lost my place. Oh no, I didn't. I got it back. Okay, if I had to rate this, I'd give it a 5.5. It's not terrible. But it doesn't have great heroes. So it'll do well against other teams of 7 stars, but if you're looking at a team with a 7-star Lorelei and an Aegina, and all you've got is Tiger King and Aiden, you're probably gonna lose. UV, I personally think Kurt is more important than Peaks. I really think that getting a copy of Kurt to start working on is more important than Peaks, because gems will come and go, and you will get those keys at a later time, but you won't get that copy of Kurt anywhere else. Eon, the problem is that Medusa kind of sucks, so I would say don't focus too hard on her. Alright, next is Mad Empire. Abion, Aegina is good at all stars. Lamb, try not to go too far with Tiger. Maybe stop at 9 if you can, because he is really bad. But 8 is okay if you need the tank and you don't have anyone else. But because you have Verthandi, if you made Verthandi 9, you could dump the Tiger King right now. Verthandi is a much better tank. Well, she's not a better tank, but by using her, you can replace Tiger King with a much better hero. And you've already got the Verthandi, and she's not good outside of being a tank anyway, so you might as well do it. Pogi's words ring so true. They ring so true to people like us that have been building all these teams, and we get wiped out by a Kurt. This is what it was the same thing to have that feeling against double Phoenix teams when I didn't have it, and I just lost to it non-stop. Or the double Phoenix, double Mars teams back in 10 stars where it's 90% loss rate. When you face those kind of losses, you know how good these heroes can be. Okay. Aegina always ends my peak runs. She really does. Like 9 times out of 10, Aegina ends me. Doesn't matter what team I have, doesn't matter how far I am, Aegina ends me. Alright, so this I don't like seeing. By making all of these heroes T1, like these 2 9-stars that you used to make Verthandi and Dro could have been used to make a 10-star and have a T4 Valkyrie. And a T4 Valkyrie would help this team so much more than these 2 T1s. Like these 2 right here, they're useless in comparison. Like the difference between 10-star T1 is not strong. If you didn't have the copies, you shouldn't have pushed so hard on... Well, okay. Knowing that if you are ready to make Valkyrie T4 at any time because of this Luna and Tesla, then okay, it's fine. Because you are in a position where you have spare fodder, then I can accept it. It's not the best looking, but at least you have an excuse because you have the 10-star ready, and therefore, okay. How does Phoenix perform in the backline? He does decent damage. I think people have shown in double Phoenix teams, the Phoenix in the back can do like 2 million damage, maybe? Which is on the low end of a damage dealer. It's like, it's okay. But it's not reliable enough to... It's not reliable enough to want to use. Eon, remember that you don't need to push for Unity. You could use someone else. Now, Medusa is perfectly fine up to 10 stars. She's okay enough. Just don't get excited about her because she is not going to make your team instantly better. You'll have her and she'll do okay, and that's it. End of story. She's just going to do okay. You're not going to be like, oh my god, I'm beating all these hard levels now with Medusa, because that's not going to happen. So as long as you keep that in mind, then go ahead and make Medusa. Perfectly fine. I feel I had this team. Like, this was my team. Something like this. But without Verthandi. I had Skull already. Should you change the lineup? I don't like seeing Verthandi when you have Phoenix. But if you're going to do that, you build Verthandi, make her tank, throw Phoenix in the front, not in the back. Throw him in the front somewhere. And run with that. But Verthandi should not be a priority to level up. For now, this is fine. Focus on Valkyrie. Verthandi can be last. No. Aegina can be... Yeah, Verthandi can be last. Lamb, you can't fodder them until they reach 9 stars, so you're perfectly fine taking them to 8 for now. Themis versus Verthandi depends what you need. If you need a tank, Verthandi's better. If you need damage, Themis is better. So this team... I guess I have to give it an 8. I mean, it's Unity. It's got the right heroes at T4. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I'm between 7.5 and 8 on this one, just because of the Verthandi and the Shude. We'll drop it to 7.5. Aegina T4. Okay, so after Valkyrie is Aegina, perfectly fine. I mean, really, even if you didn't have copies of Valkyrie, this Dro you should have made one of these heroes T2. I don't like that choice. Like, if you knew that you couldn't get Dro, then you should have just made Verthandi. Verthandi is perfectly fine. Oh well. Dina, neither of those are top tier. In fact, they're both trash tier above 10 stars. Alright, next is Frenzy. Eon, when you start getting 6 stars, everything's going to explode for you. And it is pure patience to get there. How far is my Olivia? She is T1 level 242. After this next fuse, she should be She'll be T2, and after the next fuse, I'll have T4. So it's going to take me 3 weeks to make Olivia T4. I hit a point where I ran out of flags, and I just can't overfuse too much anymore. I can only overfuse 1 9-star. I just can't do enough anymore. Wait. You have a 6-star... Wait, what is basically? You can't grind campaigns... Well, okay. Campaign is... Just give up on campaign. Campaign is you can't do any sort of grinding. Den, it depends what you're stuck on. Because if you're stuck on a level that has like multiple Abyss Lords and Scarlet, good luck. Those levels suck. Alright. Pranav, I have a tier list. As long as you're picking decent heroes and getting like 6 to 7 wins every single time, it doesn't matter how many points you get because you're ending up positive in terms of resources. Alright, so Mad Empire 7.5. Frenzy. Oh my god. This is the new eye cancer. This is it. This is the new eye cancer. Oh my god. Look at this. Look at this right now. Okay? You see this Dro T2? These 2 9-stars could have been used to take Valkyrie to T3. And then all you gotta do is make a 10-star out of all this junk. And you would have had a T4 Valkyrie. You got the copies. This is the new eye cancer. Pranav, this right here, this is a soul carrier. This is... He broke down an elf, like 9-star or 8-star or something like... Or an elf... Yeah, he broke down an elf. And what you get is this. This is the fodder that you get. It counts as an elf hero, and it's basically there to use as fodder for someone else. Eon, that Rilia is trash. You can dump that. Can it be awakened? No. Good night, Lamb. Thanks for stopping in. So this, if you're going to make any sort of elf level up, you can use this to level them. Like, you could use it to make this Dro 8 stars. So, you could have taken out this Dro to take your 2 9-stars. You could have taken out this Skuld to make the 10-star fodder. This guy could have had a T4 Valkyrie. And instead, he's got 6 heroes at T1 to T3. Oh my god. Oh my god. So this is a guy that's going to go up against teams that have 1 or 2 T4s, and he's going to get wiped out. He is going to be... He's going to be... His team is balanced in the wrong way. At the T4 level is when you don't want balance anymore. Balance is what gets you killed because the T4 upgrade is massive. Remember, if you look at the average level of all his heroes and you take a person that has a level 300 T4 and a few level 200s, their average is the same. And those 2 T4s will kill you. They will kill this team so hard. So he's got Unity, but he loses so many points for the level build, knowing what he's going up against, that I give this team a 6. Hey, Pirate. 4? He's got good heroes, though. It's not utter trash. Okay, it is trash, actually. You know what? It is trash. 1 Freya, you're done. 1 Valkyrie, you're done. 1 Detlaf, you might do okay, but for the most part, you're probably done. I'll give him a 5. I'm gonna put him decidedly average. I can't go 4. 4 is too low, I think. I can agree with your mindset. Like, I agree with your opinion, but I do not share it. Let's put it that way. But this is bad. This is bad. This is on the same level as having Medusa be your first T4. It's asking to get you the floor wiped with you. Hi, Devitt. 3 in a row, nice. I don't share the gravity, yes. It's pretty bad, but it's not like egregiously bad. Ark, you are way too late to submit today. You are way too late. You gotta submit within the first like 20 minutes. Alright, this is Otheos. Hey, this is a good team. I would rather that instead of this Dro, he made the Valkyrie T4. You should have pushed hard on the Valkyries. You should have used Moonstones. So, you do lose points for that decision. You should have pushed the Valkyrie. Having this T2 is like you should not have half built them. Like now is knowing what the resource cost is and knowing what this decision costs you. We're going to start deducting points for that, I think. Okay. Is Star Shard good on Themis? That is a trial and error thing. It's good sometimes and not all the time. It's not reliable enough to put the energy on her, I think. You have Detlaf T2. Alpha Dog, I don't want to answer detailed team questions on this. But the answer is if you want to pull Aegina, you should. Aegina's too good not to pull. Period. That's it. End of story. She's too good not to pull. If you don't have T4, you should pull. Okay, for the team itself is okay. Aside from that decision, it's okay. So it is Unity. Karen, if you think you'll build a second one, you should pull. Honestly, what else are you gonna build for Honor? If ultimately someday you're gonna need 3 undeads for Honor to have 3 balanced Unity, unless you're so good that you have a Kurt Themis team and you don't need 3 Unities. But most of us that don't have that kind of luck, it's not so bad to build it. Now, I already have an Aegina and a Detlaf, so I probably won't be building her anytime soon, but it won't hurt me to build it. Hey, Narito. Devit, gems are hard to... It's easy to go broke on gems. Okay, so... So if this was all T4, I would give it an 8. But because you have uneven building on the hero that you should have pushed the hardest on, we'll give it a 7.5. The thing is, like, when you're building T4s, then you gotta know that as much priority as possible must go towards the hero that you're building. Which T4 is underrated? I think there are none that are underrated. I think we know exactly where heroes land in the grand scheme of things. I think we know that there are heroes that excel in early and don't do good later, or heroes that are great later and not good early. We know that there's a lot of those. Ultima probably was a sleeper. Bale was a sleeper. Saizo should have been a sleeper. Actually, no. Saizo was overrated. We thought Saizo would be good. We thought Zexanoth would be good. That's probably it. Bale and Ultima. And they are no longer underrated anymore. Now they've gotten their place, which is they're good. Not good in all situations, but good. No, Bale is good in all situations. Detlef was a sleeper, but as soon as people saw what he could do, as soon as we saw that his skill hit 600, I don't think he was ever underrated. I think he was a dark horse that became amazing day one. Like, if he was ever underrated, it was for a very, very short time. Arc, you can build Ultima if you want. But it's very hard to build a second alliance because all the rest of the alliances are like, eh. Ultima is very specific, gotta have a good team built around her, and the rest of them are like, not gonna do anything amazing for you. Best hero? The best overall probably is Skuld. Pogi, if you can make Lindbergh good, I have a 10-star Lindbergh on both my accounts that I haven't decided what to do with. Ultima better than Saizo? Because Saizo is so broken, he's not good. Detlef it was never that we looked down on him. It was just that we didn't know what he was capable of. So maybe he was never looked at hard enough to be underrated. And the moment someone tried him out, everyone wanted him. As simple as that. Like, the first person that tried him and found out that he was like, he had the potential to do what he does, he was never underrated. A good Ultima team puts burst heroes in the back. So if you have Ultima in the front and you have Bale, Freya, like Valkyrie in the back, or Bale, Valkyrie, I don't know, you could even do Aegina, maybe not Aegina. Let's see, who would be a good one? You could do Lorelei just for fun. But as long as you have high or medium speed, high power burst heroes in the back, that's what Ultima needs. That's it. Lindbergh was bad at 10 stars too. And he got even worse as T4 came out. He was like whatever at 10 stars. Because remember, we stacked dodge. Like, we all tried to stack dodge, and it killed Lindbergh so hard. Even at 10-star, he was hard to use. He was very unreliable. Alright, this is Nezuko. Detlef in an Ultima team? The thing is, with Ultima, you are aiming to have Ultima fire turn 1, and then have all your burst come out turn 1. Detlef... that's an iffy one, because Detlef may not get a kill if you do that. He needs... what does he need? You want Skuld crit rate. You want, if possible, Phoenix buff. Without those two, unless he crits, he's not killing anything. So if you do those and you've got max crit rate, his crit should do, I don't know, 1,000,000 damage. Which is not enough to kill a lot of heroes. You benefit more from having them be weakened more, which is... it might work. It might work. It's not something that you would really focus on. Oh, there. Someone needs to die before Detlef fires. Which usually does not happen turn 1. Not in a Unity team. Only Kurt teams can kill people turn 1. Alright, so... this is a good team. This is actually a very good team. The Kurt is iffy. I see that you're building Kurt, and I see that you built Shoot, and that's kind of like, what are you doing here? That is actually really, what are you doing here? Hi, Shaky. I love Shoot Mel, but I admit she's not that good. The best easy to get team? If you want an easy to get team, honestly, you're going to have trash. If you don't push for Phoenix Vald Skulkery, or Phoenix Valkyrie, what did I just say? Phoenix Valkyrie Skuld, you're not going to do well. You cannot do well without those 3 heroes. Without any of them. So if you want easy to get, Freya, Verthandi, technically Lorelei, Aegina are mediocre to get, not so hard. Skuld, Phoenix, Valkyrie are just really hard. Did I say Skulkery? I probably did. So Phoenix, Aegina, Verthandi, not Aegina, Detlaf. Phoenix, Aegina, Detlaf. Those are really easy to get. And if you want to make the rest of your team out of heroes that are easy to get, you're looking at Luna, you're looking at Medusa and Ultima. Your team's going to suck. Your team's going to get rolled over. You're basically fighting a 3v6 versus some big freaking heroes. So, no good. Alright, this team is pretty solid. The sad thing is that this Skuld is going to revive Valkyrie, so that one's a little bit wasted. Alpha Dog, because of how Skuld works, it's very hard to keep heroes silenced. So unless you can use it to the point where you know that they will be silenced when you hit them, which means you gotta be faster than Skuld, it's impossible to maximize. And it's very hard to be faster than Skuld. So these are here for our... So this team... I can give this an 8, actually. I can totally give this an 8. I question your decisions with the Kurt and the Shoot, but this is solid. I'm the best Hell hero right now. It's Bale at T4, but nobody has Azathoth to know. He could be potentially amazing. All right, next is Bang. Freya is very good. Freya is probably second or third best right now, which is great because she's so easy to get and she's so good. 2 Star Shards, 1 Ragnarok, and who tanks? Alright, so the Star Shards should be on Freya Aegina, probably. Alpha Dog, if you do that, Skull's just going to revive herself. And Kurt T1 on a T4 team is useless anyway. So no, that's not really a good option. If you build Phoenix to be full defense with T3 Reflect, T1 HP, T2 damage reduce, throw on a Gift of Creation, potentially he won't be the first to die. You could even use a dodge rune, actually. That would be... I use a dodge rune on my Phoenix. It's not a terrible idea. Should you pull because you're out of shards for fusion? Pull if you think you want to make a second Aegina. It's kind of a waste to pull and not actually want the Aegina copies. So honestly, it's your call. Alright, so Pogi suggests removing Phoenix Skull or Phoenix Kurt, Tank Skull, use 4 heroes only. And that is not a terrible idea, because you have no aura anyway. Devitt, it would depend on what you consider category, and Hester is not a tank. The best rune for Valkyrie with Ragnarok is regular attack. Shaky, Lindbergh is just too unreliable. Alright, you know what? That's not a bad idea. Go with 4 heroes. The thing is, when you have Skuld at T4, it becomes very hard to fill out the rest of the team. And throwing out the rest of the heroes is the only way that you will maximize Skuld's revive. So, throw out Kurt for sure. And if you can put Phoenix at max defense and he doesn't die first, you can use him. If not, tank Skuld. Tanking Skuld is honestly most people's best option when she's an early T4 and they don't have the rest of it to go along with it. So that's not a terrible idea. Alright, so as a team... Seven? Frank, have you looked at your gear lately? Because 4-star red gear comes with 10% hit rate. Well, my point was, if Phoenix survives long enough to tank, then the revive will go to someone else, maybe Aegina, and that could be potentially critical. But again, that's only if Phoenix with full defense buff actually lives. So that's a thing I think you could try out. Most likely the Phoenix is not going to survive, and you'll have to tank Skuld. But I think it's a potential thing that you could look at. Even at T4. See, I don't agree with that. Mine doesn't. When I have my Phoenix built with Dodge Rune, Tears of the Goddess, T3 Reflect, T1 might be attack right now. I'm not sure. My Phoenix is rarely the first to die. Pretty much never is the first to die, actually. Verthandi endgame? Absolutely not. So I'm telling you now, my Phoenix in a full T4 team, almost never the first to die. As T1, I don't know. So try it out. If it doesn't work for you and Phoenix still is the first to die, even at full defense buffs, then don't use him. Go with 4 people, tank Skuld, and throw out Phoenix and Kurt. So there's your option. I would give this team a 7. I mean, it's not bad. Pogi, it's pretty much always Lorelei or Aegina that's the first to die. Pretty much always. Hey, FX. 7.5. I can't give it a 7.5. Not knowing that Skuld's Revive at best is going to be wasted on a 10-star Kurt. I don't believe it. It does well enough. To know that he has this is to know that this Skuld is getting wasted. He's got the power and it's wasted. Freya also dies fast too. So Freya, Aegina, Lorelei, one of those three. Alright, next is Robert ZDK. Oops, that doesn't fit on this line. I think I'm going to do like 10 more today. So let's rush through 10 more, guys. Man, that means Phoenix was his first T4. Phoenix is a terrible first T4. It's absolutely a terrible first T4. Alright, so then what is that? What does he have the rest of? Really nothing. Oh, man. Okay, well, I don't know if you have the Freya copies because I can't see them. But Freya definitely... Freya is your highest priority, period. After Freya... I don't know who... I can't tell who you have copies of. But Lorelei, Valkyrie would be your next priorities. Alright, well, let's see here. So a Phoenix can do what? 1 point something million damage, maybe, on average? Let's say on an average game as a tank, he does like 1 point something million damage. That's about normal for me. 1.3, 1.7. So now, instead of that, drop it by 30% and then increase it by 70%. So from 1.7 he goes down to 1.2, and then he goes from there up to 1.9. I don't think that's enough damage. I don't think that he gains enough from being a lone T4, even in the back, to make it worthwhile. Now the plus is that if he is the lone T4, he will be firing his skill every single turn, but that's assuming the entire team dies from 1.3 to 1.7. No, I'm saying if he starts at 1.7, I think. I don't know. If he starts at 1.7, he drops to 1.2 to lose the 30% bonus damage, and then goes back up to like 1.9 or 2 when you add in the 70% damage. That's the way I'm going. I dropped 30 and then increased 70. I don't think it's enough. I don't think he does enough damage to warrant being a solo carry T4. I think it's okay, but he is extremely vulnerable to crowd control. He may do okay versus Detlef, but I don't think he does enough damage in 3 turns to benefit what happens after Detlef hits him. Detlef fires the skill, he revives, you now have 3 turns to kill that Detlef before he kills you. And I don't think Phoenix does enough damage. So actually, how much HP does Phoenix have? Oh god. Mine has 800,000. It's okay. If you use Vinci hit rate... Oops, what's going on down here? Vinci hit rate does help, but you lose the dodge, which means that now I don't think it's a good trade-off. You also lose 20% true damage. So you have the hit rate, and then you may not do enough damage to kill. So you are really losing a lot by using Vinci. Hey, John. Wait, aren't you usually John and Lucy? I feel like I recognize that avatar. So I'm not sure. I don't think Phoenix is a good Soul T4 anymore. Yeah, 1.96 in the... So 1.9? A little bit more than what I was thinking. That's not enough. You need to be doing like 3. Like 2.8, 2.9, 3 million damage in order to carry. I think he may do okay versus some T4s, but I don't think it's the best choice. I still would not recommend it. But it's an interesting option that if you make it, put him in the back. Okay, so this team, I think he still falls in priority behind like all the other classic first T4s. So he went from like 10th place to 10th place, which is, I don't think he got specifically better than any of them. Okay, so this team will give it 7, 7.5, 7? I'll say 7. Hey, Ryan. Because Freya is going to be your primary damage, and she's not even T4. So you're running against T4 Freyas with a T3 Freya, and you're not going to do good. You can fix it, but no, I don't think you need to fix it. I think this is fine. Phoenix is going to be your damage dealer, but you also need a tank, so he's got to be in front. If you want him to help Freya, he's got to be in front anyway. So I'm going to give this a 7 because I feel like the priorities were slightly shifted here. Again, because Phoenix is a very bad first T4. I mean, if you think about the classic first T4s, where does he move up on the list? Because, like, he doesn't. That's an option too. Put 3 trash heroes in the front and put Phoenix first in the back here so he can be a back tank. That's actually a very interesting option. You know what? Try that out. See how that works. That might be a better. Why is it Phoenix a good tank? Because of revive. And because clerics have naturally high dodge, so they typically do pretty good. Khalils. It's gonna be very interesting to start convincing people to throw in Khalils, I gotta say. And it's not it's a great idea, but it's like to start convincing people to maximize their gimmick is like, huh. Man, I was gonna do 10 starting from this guy and I haven't even moved on from him. Alright, we're just gonna give him a 7 and move on. I feel like I'm exploring too much potential for teams rather than just critiquing them. Alright, Verthandi first. Whoa, Phoenix. Wait, there's 2 teams here. Nope, only doing the first one. Okay, so... This is an interesting one because he's probably throwing in Phoenix and Kurt, which you don't really need. The best first T4 is Valkyrie from a long-term perspective. This is long-term. This is meaning a hero that will take you from beginning T4 all the way to the very end. Valkyrie is the best first choice. By that criteria, it depends on how you want to do it, because there is best first T4 for long-term, and there is best first T4 for short-term domination. I prefer to think long-term because I would rather play safer and more tight with my resources. And so on that list, Valkyrie, then Freya are the best first T4s to make. Now, if you want to make a T4 that's just very strong in the meantime while you start to build up the rest of your heroes, Verthandi, Detlaf, Reaper are three that are absolutely crazy, and Monkey King. Valkyrie, Verthandi, Detlaf, Reaper, Monkey King are four that are absolutely amazing first T4s. Absolutely amazing. They will totally run over weaker teams, and they hold their own 1v1 very, very well. But none of those are end game heroes. So you're making them knowing that eventually you will have to fodder them, or knowing that they will fall off being useful and they will not be they're not going to hold their own against endgame PvP players. Monkey King is not endgame. So knowing that is do you want to be strong now, or do you want to be strong all the way to the end of the game? And that's the choice that you have to make. Freya second or third place, doesn't matter. Typically third, because third place is safer than second. Because once your tank dies, you have one more person buffer between them and Freya. What is my team? My team is mediocre Unity. Reaper is the least long-term of them all. Detlaf is still great. Verthandi and... Well, I mean, if you make a C team, your third team is Reaper only, it works okay. You'll take out single T4 teams. You'll take out the fodder teams. It'll work. Can I beat Boomin? Yeah, I can beat Boomin. Not all the time. It's pretty random, because we basically have the same team. In tier place? Fifth? Maybe? Sixth? Omar, is this you? Are you Hypercube? You can T4... Oops. You can T4 Freya next week? Well, yes, you should T4 Freya. That's 100%. And the rest of it, honestly, is gonna wait on copies. Phoenix would be nice, but you don't need Phoenix as much. Valkyrie really would be the best, but Aegina is also good too. Recycle Bin Aegina is not a good first T4. She's strong, but she's not a good first T4 because she doesn't really hold her own one-on-one, and she will get destroyed by the stronger heroes that specialize in 1v1. And actually, Freya is not good 1v1, but she's still good because of her Petrify. Okay, so priority, work on Valkyrie if possible. If not, work on Aegina. If not, wait for copies of somebody. Aegina shouldn't be too hard to get at this time, given how many events she's been in a reward for. as a team, I can give this a 7.5. 7.5. I can give it a 7.5. We'll say 7.5. We'll say 7.5. I think it does good. Your priorities have been solid. Neas used Lorelei. Lorelei's better at all stars. So we'll go 7.5. Solid. Very solid team. Alright, next is Mahesi. Detlef good as first T4? Yes. Yes, he is. Think about it. All he's got to do is fire, kill their T4 on turn 2, which is easily doable if it's a squishier one, like a Freya or it could even be a Reaper or a Verthandi. If he kills them turn 1, he steamrolls the entire rest of the team because he gets energy back every time he kills someone. Now, the downside is if you're going against another Detlef, whoever is higher level goes first, and if yours is not faster than theirs, you die. Or if you hit them and if they hit you and don't crit and then you hit them back and kill them, that works too, but that's less reliable. What is the next best move? Okay, what are you doing? Why do you have so many T1? How did you do this? Why would you do this? Okay. Step 1, T4 Freya. Step 2, T4 Valkyrie. Well, you don't have copies of Valkyrie to work with. Oh man. Having this T1 Valkyrie is like kind of insulting. Alpha Dog, that's why she's very random. She's very, very random. When she works, she blows things up. When she doesn't, she dies. And you know what? This applies to all levels. It doesn't matter if you have a full T4 team. If Freya goes off, you probably win. If she doesn't, you're relying on the rest of the team to carry you. So she's high RNG. She's a better PvE hero. She's a better for story mode than she is for PvP because you get to try infinite times, whereas in PvP you only get to try once. Aswin, Thanatos is Reaper. If you read Reaper's description, he is Thanatos. Do I have one? I don't have one. Dang it. This guy is Thanatos. I kind of like that they use their own names and not like they give them names but don't use them. So it is Thanatos, but in the game he's just Reaper. I kind of like that. You get away with not having to use like well-known mythical names sometimes, and you get to change people around to fit your own narrative. Alright, so you don't have Freya. Well, Freya's easy to get. She's on the advanced wheel, she's in the soul shop, she's all over the place. Chessia isn't even a PvE queen, not anymore. Not at the highest level. Like Bold made her work for 585, but if you go higher than that, it's not going to work. Detlef, Giles T3 for Undead is honestly back and forth. It's whichever one does better for you. Thanatos is the god of death. Hi, Ritesh. Double Freya. If you like gambling, you can make double Freya. But the problem with gambling is you lose a lot. So that's going to be it. If you're feeling lucky, go for it. If you're not, don't do it. Lan, I would take the Lorelei. Alright, so you're missing the Freya. I mean, think about it. Who would you make next? You clearly making a 10-star Aegina does not help you at this time. Making a 9-star Phoenix does not help you. You just called me Chinese. Why would you ask if I'm Indian? That's very confusing. So your top priority is Freya and then Valkyrie. If you're going to make these two, only do it if you know you can take them to T4. Dro T4 is going to do nothing for you. Honestly, Dro T4 is no longer recommended. Thanks, Ritesh. So... But if double Freya works and you petrify them all on turn 1, turn 2, you win. But remember, you've got a 36% chance of any given one, plus she bounces off of Skuld's shield, plus Skuld wipes the petrify on anyone that Freya did petrify and miss Skuld. So you are really, really gambling on that one. Not really worth it most of the time. Alright, so Mahasi 7.5. It's not great. You know what? I'm gonna give it a 7 actually. Because at this point your highest, you've only got one T4 and it's Verthandi, which is fine if it was just her, but you've got 3 more that are lower level who are supposed to be your higher damage. So I would 6. Six and a half. We'll say 6.5. I think you're going to struggle a lot versus teams that are 3 T4s. Even 2 T4s, I think you're going to struggle. Alright, so when Pogi picks a number, I'm going to add to it. 0.5 to 1 points. Unless it's his team, in which case we subtract 0.38 points. That'll be the rule. Alright, Sana-san, we'll give you a 6.5. I do not recommend you make Dro next. Yes, this game is on Play Store. And it's also on the App Store. It is on both. You can play on both. Alright, next will be Simon. Oh god. Sorry guys, I don't think I'm going to make it to 10 more. I'll do... Oh, no, I'll try. I'll do it. I'll rush. I will rush. Let's go and rush. I think second Aegina is totally worth it. I don't know what that word means, and I'm kind of afraid to repeat it because if it's a bad word, I don't want to get in trouble. But real quick, I'm going to Google it. It doesn't bring up anything, so I don't know what it is. It's just a name. Just a name. Okay, Simon. Simon doesn't fit on this line. And good night, Pogi. Thanks for stopping in. He probably already left. Hi dear, I would say focus on Valkyrie because Skuld is fairly useless while you have a fodder hero on the team. If you want to use Skuld, then you gotta play with 5 heroes. So your choice is take Skuld and get rid of Valkyrie off the team for now, or focus on Valkyrie. Either option is fine. Sana-sam, it's not enough. It helps, that's a good idea, but it's not enough. Squalzy, I totally will. Classics, it is Monday. For me. Simon, I'm not sure about this. And why do you have Freya? You don't have a burst heavy team. Why do you have Kurt in the back? Kurt should be in the front here. This is not great, but let's see. I see you have a max level Corvin. Good night, Trollcraft. So, okay. So if Kurt's working for you here, then so be it. I mean, I don't know. I don't have Kurt. I would probably put Phoenix in the front, though. I would swap Phoenix and Dro. Classics team critique does not have a fixed day. It is whatever day is open on that week. So Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's any of those days at random. I do tell people before it happens, though. You two are making no sense at all. So aside from that swap, I don't know how else you fix it. If Kurt is doing okay here, then that's fine. I still think he would do better if you had a Skuld, but you don't have a Skuld, so... Rohit, I think that's okay, but I don't think you need the Freya. I think you'd be better off having someone else there. A second Skuld, maybe? Classics, I tagged the team critique roll twice. Alright, so swap Phoenix, and then... Phoenix for Freya? Yes. That would be big, yes. Man, I want an Ultima now. But I really want a Bale. God, I want Bale. Alright, I am not streaming Wednesday. Wednesday, I am taking a day off. Alright, so what would I rate this team? This is a team that would do really good, but given how many T4s you have, I feel like you're going to run into a lot of Skuld teams, and I feel like Skuld teams are going to wreck you. I feel like you will do very, very poorly versus Skuld teams. I mean, you would know more than I do. I don't know, because I don't have this team. Rohit, we don't even know how Azathoth works yet, so we'll see. But it is possible that... Yes, Frank, I'm going to do community pools on Thursday and Friday. Which hero had loyal chicken as a pet? I do not know. Now I'm going to look. Oh, who is Mystia's legendary hero? That's you! Aren't you? Isn't this the player? Is Mystia's legendary hero? Not sure on that one, actually. Good night, Jerome. Thanks for stopping in. Alright, so Simon, I would rate you a 7. I really feel like no Scold is hurting you a lot. That's my thought. Like, Scold would instantly raise your team in a powerhouse level. So, it's not a bad team, but yes, Scold should be your top priority. Talent for Dro, I like to use the one that when people crit, they do poison. That one is a better support one for the rest. No, I'm not going to remove points for Dro. Galaxy, he says Kurt does good damage in the back, so go with it. I don't feel that this team benefits from Kurt in the back, but if it works, it works, you know. I don't have the experience to tell him otherwise. So I would say swap these two and you're fine. But I'm going to give it a 7. I mean, Simon, am I right? Do you lose against Scold teams? Because it really feels like against teams with 4 or 5 T4s that have Scold, you get wrecked. I'm sure it works. It's just not reliable. That's what I think. On paper, it feels like it's not reliable. Do not remember. Nice. So this guy is clearly on the road on something dispersal line. Alright, this is Taro saying. Ritesh, yes, some people spend money on it. This is a great team. Nothing to do here. We'll give it an 8.5. Solid team. Very solid. I don't know why you built a T4 Shoot, and I'm sure you regret that greatly, but you built it. The only improvement on this team is Aegina and Bale. Unless you start building Kurt. Which it looks like you don't have enough copies of. So, oh well. So you want Bale and you want Aegina. This is great. So we'll give it an 8.5. It's a great team. Not much you can do to improve. Chiwi. Oh, he wants positioning. Okay, back to Taro saying. Positioning. This is fine. Fearless. The thing is, solid is not the best. The best is gonna be something with Kurt. And Kurt can only be used off Aura effectively. Unity is better now than it's been before, but there is room for improvement because it is not the strongest. Like, if you take this team and you put it up against a double Skull, double Kurt team, you're probably going to lose 8 times out of 10. So that's why this team, as good as it is, it's not the highest. I like to put Detlaf third, but it doesn't matter at this point. This order is perfectly fine. Honestly, the order doesn't matter on this team very critically because the only hero that has any sort of positioning requirement is Phoenix, and that's your tank, so it's as good as it gets. Alright, next is Chiwi. Why are these people building... Rohit, probably Blood Metal. The Eye of Heaven series of artifact is the highest pure source of damage after the defense break ones. Why are you building this Aegina after what are you doing with this Freya and Aegina? Well, I can't see the rest of his bag, so I don't know if he's got a bunch of 9-star fodders or not. Okay, so we'll give it... So I would give it an 8. Pogi would probably argue that I reduce points because of bad fodder distribution here. But Pogi is not here, so I'm not going to do that this time. But I will say that you have made a very poor decision in choosing to take 2 heroes to T1, T2, rather than focusing on either one of these to T4. So we'll give it an 8. It's a weak 8. We'll say that. Rune for Kurt, Death Break. We'll give it a 7.75. Because I don't want to give it an 8 because I don't like that. So this is going to be angry points. Angry point reduction. Alright, Galaxy Axel. Hey, you're still here. Rune for Valk, Death Break. But if you have Ragnarok, then you can use attack. See, so this is the same thing that Simon has, which is it works, but it's not reliable because you don't have Scald. So you struggle a little bit to make sure this Kurt fires, especially in your case when this Kurt is extremely underleveled. So this is not... He's probably mostly useless, I'm gonna guess. Is there a team that gets 10? Anybody that has a team that gets 10 doesn't need team critique. But Song On above, who had the 9, was very close. He probably could have gotten it too. If he had a Lorelei instead of a Freya, I think he would have gotten a 10. Or if he had a second Scold. Second Scold and a Lorelei. That would have been really good. Well, so Axel, am I right? Is this Kurt basically useless? He's too low level. He's doing nothing but defending for the rest of the team by upgrading their skill defense reduction. So, okay. As a team, we'll give it an 8. It's good. It's very good. Dandy, I don't understand. Death Break, if you don't have Ragnarok, you need to be using a Death Break rune. If you're going to use Gospel Song, you want a Death Break rune. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, you don't have a 6th hero. You're using Kurt. That's fine. It's good. No, it's a good team. But if Kurt was higher level, it'd be better. Ty, I don't know, but I'm going to guess it's somewhere in the 10,000 range. Guild Tech is very expensive at that point. Up to 80 is affordable. Past 80, it gets ridiculous. You start spending like 10 million gold for 1 point, sometimes more. At the end, I think it's like 16 million points, 16 million gold for the last point. Fieres got a 10, which he no longer would anymore. There are some people that have gotten 10s. Rune artifact for Dro, energy and speed rune. Okay, so yeah, Axel, your team is fine. If you had, I still think that you're gonna suffer without having Scold, just like Simon. So Scold at all costs, Scold needs to be your top priority. Okay, next on is Smashly. That is 8. So Smashly and 2 more. If you are not 2 behind Smashly, I will not get to your team today. I'm sorry. Aw, man, you started Monkey King. Poor guy. Okay, so this guy's got basic unity. It's solid. It's a great team. Gets an 8. It's a solid unity team. And it's all T4 minus Aegina. It's good. This is a very good team. The only major improvement is Lorelei. Zareth, you just gotta be live during the stream. If you want instructions on how it works, there is a trigger in the Discord called !community. But the gist of it is you need a computer and you need a way to play Taptap on the computer. If you have an iPhone, you want to have an app to share your screen, like a Power Mirror or AirPlay. And if you're on Android, you need to have an Android emulator. Either of those can be shared via Discord, and that's it. Aswin, yes, sometimes it is, but it's a little bit... It's fun to read them and know that future heroes are coming. Because there are 3 sisters... The 3 Norse sisters, Urd, Skuld, Verthandi, and Urd is not in the game yet, meaning at some time they could add her. They could add that Duke Nyx that Freya was related to, I think. So there are potential to bring out heroes from their lore. We'll see how it goes. Alright, Smashley gets an 8, needs to focus on Lorelei. Totally not box. Good night, Nyan. Naemon, if you think that you will make the Aegina, I think it's worth it. 20k is a lot of gems, but I think she's worth it. Gamer Ghost, I'm sorry, it didn't go too well today. How many did we do? 4, 9, 13, 17, 21... Oh man, I only did 30 people. It's like 11 o'clock, guys. I've been live for over 3 hours. Rune for Dro is speed. I will do what I can. Okay, then let's go really fast. Let's have no discussion. So let's just go as many as I can go real quick. Not box. Poor decision to make this Valkyrie T1. You should be focusing on the Valkyrie. Actually, you need to focus on a tank. So either you work on Verthandi or you push for this Phoenix. Actually, this Phoenix should be your priority. This team... I'll give this a 7.5. It's not bad. It's unbalanced, but that's not so bad. That's 57.5, and you don't get that high a score. All right. It's a good team. Focus on Phoenix. Absolutely focus on Phoenix. Vanguard, Rune for Lorelei is speed. All right. We're going to speed through these people. No discussion. Just rate them. General idea. Okay. Kalenohea, I know you probably left, but... This is a good team, actually. Detlaf is an odd choice because he's not good until T4. So keep working on him, but you're going to need to push him hard. Now, ideally, you push from this point is where you decide to go forward with a T4, and you go with Freya because she's your highest. As a Unity team, I'll give this a 7 because... It's a little bit weak for where it is. Detlaf is weak. Phoenix is low level. Dro is low level. But the basis is solid. It's a good team, and you've got good heroes. Alan Harris. Dro as a first T1 was a very terrible decision. You have no good tank. I'm assuming you may be tanking with Dro just because of her silence. Sorry, Gamer Ghost. I'll try. Let's go fast. Oh, yeah. Good call, good call. Good call. Let me do that. That needs to be done too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's very tiny, but gift code, suggestion 1. I'm surprised nobody mentioned that earlier. That should have been mentioned a long time ago. Long time ago. Okay. Alan Harris. You need a tank. You need a... It is on Discord, but I would like to have it on stream too. Alright. Oh, man. He's got Unity, but he's got a very weak distribution. And he's... Oh my god. You know what? You know what? I hate to say it. I think this guy is our biggest loser. Skuld is an okay tank, but she's only 9 stars, and you've got a T1. So you need to push a tank hard. Either you take Skuld higher, or you do something, because in this team, Medusa's the first to die, so Skuld's revive is going to get wasted. I'm going to give him a 4. Like, it's Unity, but it's bad Unity. You have the worst... One of the worst choices as first T1, and I hate to say it, Alan Harris, but I think you've got the crown today. Tacos and tequila. Gamer, can I make it to you and stop? Oh, this is a good basis right here. He's got Unity. He's working on Aegina. His... L, if you want to enter gift codes, it's here. You go to privilege, you go to special, and it's down here. This is where the new gift code location is. It has moved. It's kind of confusing, but that's where it is. Namon, that's not true, actually. He should have saved this 9-star fodder and made someone else T1. Dro is a terrible choice. Absolutely a terrible choice. Okay, this is a 7.5 team. Could it be 8? Could it be an 8? It could be an 8. Yeah, that's an 8. This is an 8 team. It's great. Priorities are great. Energy on Valk and Freya. I would not put that energy on Valk. I would put it on either Dro or Skuld. Or Phoenix. Any of those is better than Valkyrie. But if you have... Once you have Aegina T4, absolutely put it on her. That's... Aegina is amazing with energy. Alright. Next is Clinton. You don't have a good artifact or Valk? Use Eye of Heaven. I bet you have an Eye of Heaven. Hi, Knobend. If you don't have an Eye of Heaven, use a Dragon Blood. Those are fine too. I'm sure you have one of those. I'm very, very sure you have one of those. Alright, who is this? This is Clinton. Okay. Okay, this is not bad. Uh-oh, I went over the line. Okay. Hi, Kijon. Alright, so Clinton, this is actually a solid building block for a team. I like this. Priority is absolutely Aegina. After that, you would like it to be Freya. Best artifact besides energy is going to be Hell Disaster, the speed one. So that's it's a black sword with red fire on it. All right, so Aegina first priority, then Phoenix. You can work on the other people later. Taking them to 10 doesn't help you much. So this team, we'll give it a 7. 7.5. 7. No, 7.5. This one's kind of in between. It's solid. It's very solid. His priority is good and his team build is good. And a 10-star Phoenix is a nice, decent tank in this range. So, good stuff. Alright. El Nino. I cannot put a tilde right now. Oh, hey, see? We take teams of all times. Knoband, what are you doing? Why would you make 2 Freya 6-star? Oh my god, that is a... You have ruined your game. Yes, you should keep them, but you have really, really hurt your progress. Like, you have just killed yourself for a month of gameplay by making that decision. Wow. Wow. Maybe sometime in the far, far future you can level up one of them to 7 stars and break it down. You could have had a 9-star Freya. You cannot return a 6-star. Returning a 6-star only D-levels it to level 1. You must take it to 7-star in order to break it down. And that's going to cost him 10 flags. And I'm sure that he doesn't have 10 flags to just throw away like that. Alright, El Nino. This is a solid, very solid team. Who do you have that's better? Puppet Maid. 10 flags is very expensive to a level 60. Very, very expensive. You know how much that's going to hurt him? Those flags don't come easy. Hi, Hindu Kosi. 10 flags is expensive at all levels, but it hurts even more at that level. Because he's just throwing them away. Those are the flags that he needed to make the Freya 9-star. He just held himself back a month. Okay. No, I'm sure he has Phoenix Stones. We got some last week. Alright, so 6 stars are better than 5 stars in pretty much all situations. So this Puppet Maid will be better than the Centaur. The rest of the team you have is not worth it, so just replace the Centaur with Puppet Maid and you'll be fine for now. Just push with that until you get some more 6 stars. Hindu Kosi, unfortunately, you're way too late this time. This is a decidedly average team. This is about where I am. We'll give it a 6. 5.5. 6? Nah, 5.5. It's decidedly mediocre. Alright, Iraqi Gamer, who is probably Gamer Ghost. Try for Unity is not critical at that time. You're going to end up picking some really terrible heroes. Alright, Gamer Ghost, is this you, Iraqi Gamer? We will end on him. Let's see here. 1.5 months? Okay. Okay. Okay, so here's the thing. You have Rilia, you have Tiger King, you have Verthandi, you have Walnir. All 4 of those are tanks. You only need 1. The best of them is Verthandi. So by using Verthandi as the tank, once you get her to 8 stars, you can use her at 7 now, it's okay. You can throw out Tiger King. You can throw out Rillia. Make the Phoenix, absolutely. And probably in your case, you may consider leveling up this Medusa just to usable level, because she's not terrible. She absolutely is not terrible. At your point, you probably do not want to focus on Unity too hard, because by using this, you're using really terrible heroes. So yeah, focus on the Phoenix for now. Focus on the Phoenix, and that's about it. So I would say as of right now, throw out Rillia for Phoenix. Hindu, I don't think you can post pictures on Twitch, but there's, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's only 4 people left. Let's do it. Let's do all of them. Let's do all of them. Okay, Ghost Gamer, this team. I'm going to give it a 5. Okay, so I'm going to give it a 5. Your priority, make Phoenix. That's it. Get rid of Rillia at all costs. You do not need her. If you can make Verthandi, you can also get rid of Tiger King. That's your rule. That's it. Good luck with that. Getting copies is hard. Naman, it's closed. I didn't want to stream this long, but here we are. We're going to do the last 4 because there's only 4 left. Alright, this is Vexed. Vexed, who is your... Oh, man. Okay, there we go. Works. Who is your avatar? Good night, tacos and tequila. Thanks for watching. He doesn't need the Reaper, but he doesn't not need it. Okay. Hi, Krista. Hindu, yes, but that would be unfair to everybody that was here early and posted their teams at the right time. Okay, so my recommendation, take this Medusa, fodder it, make Freya 10 stars, focus as hard as you can on making Freya T4, do whatever it takes. You can throw in the Phoenix in the meantime, and work with that. Freya should be easy to get. A player at this level, you should have a couple of extra copies of Freya. I think you can do it. So that's my idea. Fodder Medusa, make Freya 10, push Freya to make your next T4 as high as possible. That's your priority. I know it's expensive, but I think that should be your priority. And I know you're probably somewhat attached to this Medusa, but believe you me, she is bad. Okay, so this team, we'll give it a 6. It's solid unity, good heroes, good breakdown. 6.5, we'll say. No, 6. Dro's not that good at 8 stars. And Olivia, sadly, not that impressive. L, Rune for Lorelei, speed. And he asked... Wow, he asked if he wanted to make Medusa his first 10, and the answer is absolutely not. Go for Freya. Alright, next is Ripe Citrus. Oh my god! Ripe Citrus. Okay, so this is exactly the team Pogi would give a 4 to. but Naaman, he's only been playing for a month and a half, so don't go too hard on him, man. That's pretty strong for a month and a half. Okay, let's see here. Freya. Oh man, but you've got Luna and you made all these people T1. You're tanking with Verthandi, I hope. Alright, so tank with Verthandi, throw in the rest. This team not that good. Because of where it is, we're going to give it a 5. If you sold your house and you only got $900 for it, I would, not even 900, 600? If you sold your house for $600, you did not live in a good house. We'll give him a 5. This is terrible decisions. Terrible, terrible decisions. He does mediocre, but if they have 3 T4s, he's dead. He's dead. We'll give him a 5. Your priority, make T4s. Hopefully Phoenix. Then hopefully Valkyrie. Then hopefully Aegina. Krista, I'm not going to take full team questions on chat. Not during Team Critique Day, sorry. Alright, Cartavia. Oh, I only have 2 left. Cartavia and then Chongjong and we're done. Okay, let's do it. T4s with shoot, ouch. Not that good, but building Aegina, good. I think you already know where you are. We'll give it a 7 because Shud, Andro. We'll give it a 7. Your priority, Aegina. Then Lorelei, but it looks like you're going to be struggling with that because you have 0 copies of Lorelei. And looking at his bag, he has 1 copy of Lorelei. Okay, so L, I answered. It was speed. Matt, yes, you should. Okay, is Lorelei better than Dro? Yes, by far. Okay, so 7. Good, solid, but not amazing. Frank, if Aegina is your primary source of damage, put on... What other one? You asked another one before that? I don't know what the other question is. The gift code one, right? I already showed people where to put in gift codes. So Frank, if Aegina is your primary source of damage, then put energy or Tears of the Goddess on her. All right, L, I don't know what your other question is. Alright, Chongjong did not post the rest of his bag. Solid. Actually, this is great. This is great. Tacos, yes, always pull heaven and hell. Frank Tom, that's the whole point. If Aegina is your primary source of damage, put Tears of the Goddess on her. If not, and you've got damage elsewhere, then you can do Tears of the Goddess on Skuld instead. But if you need Aegina to do damage for you to win, put it on her. Alright, so this is actually great. That's an 8. That is an 8. His priority is wonderful on this one. He didn't build excess T1s, T2s. He went straight to T4s and built them in order. The order is good. The tank is solid. This is a great team. Your priority is Valkyrie, then Verthandi. So L, ask your question now or forever hold your silence. Rowan, the answer is always Lorelei. What can beat that? Another Kurt team would do it. You basically need to hit it and hit it with your Lorelei being faster than theirs. That's pretty much it. It's not easy to beat. Or you crowd control and you hope that you slow them down. Verthandi is not a solid pick in that case. You'd probably rather have Phoenix in front and replace the Verthandi with like a, I don't know, a Themis or another Kurt or another Lorelei. If Verthandi has the most damage, something's going wrong. Kurt should have the most damage on that one. But they could tank with Themis. Themis could be better. Better alternative than a Tesla, Valkyrie, Ultima, Saw Machine even. Tesla's not that good. Alright guys, that's going to be it for me tonight. I went way longer than I meant to tonight, but I did get through every team I did. Real quick, I did 9, 13, 17, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 37. I did 40. That's perfect. That's exactly where I wanted to be. Just took me a lot longer to do it than usual. Thanks guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Tomorrow will be Ghost of Tsushima, and I will not be streaming on Wednesday, so pay attention, because Wednesday is a collection event. So starting Wednesday night, you need to stop logging in, and all the details are on the Discord, but for collection events, don't log in before the start of the event. Try to log in, stop logging in 8 hours before it starts, log in right after it starts, you get 8 hours of extra currency. Big bonus, especially in this case when it can be enough to do it. Aegina is not a... Freya is just not reliable. That's what it comes down to, L. If your Freya goes off, you win. If not, you lose. That's basically what the problem is. She just isn't good enough for handling teams like that reliably. So you're rolling the dice, and he is not. That's what it comes down to. Good night, guys, and